Oh, there we go. There we go. We're on the Facebook. I heard it pop up. Good morning, everybody. Howdy do. How are you? For all of you that jump on here, hey, thank you for getting on here. If you do me a solid, please like, comment, and share the stream. As always, before we get into today's show, we start out with 60 seconds of gratitude. I look sweaty on here. Do I look sweaty?
You're glistening.
Am I for out there?
Shining.
I'm shiny this morning. Man, I don't like that look. But I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I got to go play golf yesterday. Even though I was terrible, I'm thankful that I got to go out there. And what I'm very thankful about today, and this is going to be a lot of today's show, is I'm very thankful that today I get the opportunity to go over and speak to kids with the first shot, Coach Andy Herzer, from ages, I've been told, 8 to 14. And that's what today's show topic is going to be about. Mark Dunn, thank you for joining us. How have you been, friend?
Been good. How are you doing?
Are you coming over to first shot with us today?
When? What time?
8 o'clock or 4 o'clock. Are you coming?
Not my make today.
I understand. From where you're sitting, does it look like I'm shining up here? Am I sweaty?
You are gleaming. Not like in a sweaty way, but like...
I am. I think it's this coffee, and I shaved this morning. Something's going on. I don't like the way I'm feeling. Blood sugar is obviously a little high right now. But today's question is this. Could or did anyone talk to you at an age of, let's say, 10 to 14 years old, there was information, that was data, a lesson that changed your life? Is it possible, number one, could an adult have spoken to you at that age and they could have changed your life, could have changed your course? Could that have happened to you? Did it happen to you? Could somebody wake everybody up in here?
Could definitely happen. I don't remember specifics for myself, but I'm sure it has happened many times.
So you do believe it's possible. Do you believe it's possible, Andrew?
Absolutely.
Are you trying to think of somebody? Cecilia, how are you? Are you trying to think of somebody? Do you remember somebody at an early age?
I just remember, I've probably taken a lot away from, I always had good coaches in sports.
That's where I was going.
And I always had good information from them, but I also had the opposite of good information.
Did you have some up to no good information?
I did. I had a lot of that.
So I think good. I'm good. Thank you for checking. Thank you for getting on here, Cecilia. So I'm like you. I'm a big believer. Team sports help mold young people, not just boys but girls. So early. Good morning, Samantha. Thank you for getting on here. Pardon me. So when I was young, there was a gentleman in our neighborhood, Coach Ricky Fields. How many of y'all know who he is? Do you know who Coach Fields is? Well, Coach Fields was this guy. He was an athlete here in town. Then he went to MTSU. Now, I think did he play football at Middle, Joey? Yeah. Played football there, and I'm sure Coach Fields probably had opportunities to go into other jobs. He could have probably chosen a path that could have made him more money, but where his heart was to give back into kids. And I remember whenever I was on my first little junior pro team, I don't know how old I was, but I was little, and hey, I played wide receiver. Y'all probably thought I was a quarterback, didn't you?
Yes.
No, I was a wide receiver out there. I was a wide receiver out there. So I was a Julio Jones type player out there. I don't know if I ever caught a pass. But I was on this team that I was the youngest guy on the team, and the team we were on had the best players. Although it was Redskins team. I don't know if y'all remember. I don't even know if they had Redskins back then. But Coach Fields would get a lot of those players before practice, pick them up, take them home. That's what he did. He'd load a bunch of them up, and he would drive them home. He was kind of like their mentor, their caretaker. He was the guy that they all looked up to. And that left something on me or in my heart that I didn't even know was going on at the time. Then whenever I was in high school, he joined the Riverdale staff. I was no longer a wide receiver, Josh. I'd moved into the offensive and defensive line. But Coach Fields came in, and he was like the track coach, and he coached athletes. You know, what's an athlete in football?
You.
No.
Tommy Davidson.
No, he coached like wide receivers, and he coached the
Running
secondary.
backs.
He coached those. He coached that position. So I really wasn't around him as much during that time, but same coach, the same discipline. A lot of those guys didn't have a ride home. A lot of those guys didn't have a ride to school. So what he was doing before school, he was picking them up. After school, he was taking them home. I mean, like a truck full of people. And I'm just thinking back, who was the first person whenever I was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old that was leaving some type of an impact in me? And I remember, hey, Eric White, what's shaking, friend? Eric, when you're 10 years old, did anybody outside of your family or in your family leave a mark on you that helped you throughout your life? I remember the lessons that he would teach us when I was a little bitty kid. I mean, it was really about respecting your teammates, sticking up for your teammates, sticking up for your family. And to this day, I've kind of got this loyalty thing. I haven't even thought about it until today about how important loyalty is to me. And it really comes back to those lessons that Coach was teaching me at, I don't even know how old I was. I could have been 9 or 10. Sorry, Zillow. Didn't mean to cuss. I can't even remember how old I was. But he is a guy in the community that has taken on this role of giving back. And I mean, the hardest thing for people to give back is really their time. You know, people that have money, it takes no time to write a check for however amount the money is, and then they just write it off. You know, it's kind of a strategy, but to actually pour in and give your time. So Andy Herzer is that guy that I think of today. Do y'all know Andy Herzer? I know you do, Pruitt. Do you know him? Did you know who he was before you got here? Did you know him before you got here? Do you know who he is? Similar story. He was a high school basketball player, got a scholarship to come play in North Carolina. He's from Indiana. He got into coaching. He got out of coaching, and he started what was really on his heart, and that was helping kids. So today we're going over to Andy's First Shot. Would you call that a program? What is it?
Foundation.
First Shot Found. It's a nonprofit foundation. He puts a lot of time. His whole life is about helping kids find their way and get on the right path. So today I'm speaking to how many kids?
About 75.
We're speaking to 7,500 kids today. I'm going to be up there. Don Gandy, what's up, friend? I'm going to be up there, and I feel like weatherman. I need a towel. My point dripping in sweat. Looking on here, it's very distracting. Don't worry about it, Lorema. I'll do it after the show. But I'm wondering what it is that I could tell a 10-year-old today that might help their life course. You know, and I think the most important thing that a 10-year-old can do is be very aware of the choices that they're making. Who in here made some bad choices at between the ages of 10 and 14? Does anybody remember?
Yep.
Yes.
Now I want you to do this. I want you to play out what could have happened that didn't happen. I want you to think about some things that you did. If it didn't play out the way it did, what would have happened to you? That's why I ask people, do you feel lucky? And I always say yes, because I remember being a young kid playing with a shotgun with my other little cousin, and thank God they weren't loaded, because we were sitting there playing like they were play guns, just sitting there pulling the trigger at each other. Well, I mean, was I lucky that day? Think about that. So what is it that a kid today, if I'd like some input here, what is it today that you think a kid 10 to 14, male, female, what is it that you think they could hear that might connect with them, that they might hear, they might believe, it might change the way they're going?
Believe in yourself.
Van says, believe in yourself. What would you say, Pruitt?
I think just,
Deep subject today, isn't it?
I think just going off of what Van said, no one else can change you. No one else can change your actions and stuff except for you. So it starts with changing yourself.
So my message of be committed, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Is that too much for a 10-year-old?
I feel like you can dumb it down.
I think
Josh, of course, he don't know what it means right now, I don't think. But
I think you can make it in like Drew said, just say it in a way that more resonates with them.
I feel like you could turn it into, kind of like be a leader, not a follower. Because I feel like, a lot of the young kids, they see that one guy who's always doing the bad shit, and they always got to
sorry,
follow.
Zillow.
Sorry, Zillow. They always got to follow and try and be with the cool guy, So,
What would you say,
do
Noah?
what you think is right, and don't be a. Don't be a
What if you don't know? See, I grew up in this area, man. I know what it was like. Luckily for me, I had such a strong mama. My mama would beat the hell out of me if I was scared to death of my mama. They say spankings don't work, whippings don't work. It worked for me. Now, what's probably happened is it's probably held me back later in life because it taught me to fear things. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. If you're scared of your mama, you're scared of living a big life. You're scared of creating something big. I don't know if I can go in there and talk to them about a big life. I just got to get them through. I want to say something so they can get themselves through the next 5 years without being in trouble.
What do your decisions say about your character?
What does your decision say about your character? Well, what if these kids probably aren't thinking about their character. They're thinking about survival. They're thinking about getting ahead. Say what?
Being cool.
Being cool. I don't think those things pop up right now. So today I'm going to go in there and I'm just really, if this foundation was around whenever I was that age, I probably would have been over there because it's very close to where I grew up. Very close to where I grew up. It's in Patterson Park. Who knows where that is? Have you ever been to Patterson Park?
If I have, I don't know.
Have you? Well, you'd know.
You know.
You'd know if you was over there. Have you been there?
I have.
Have you? What are you doing over there?
I was doing some community stuff over there.
Were you? Okay, well, what is it like? Tell the people what it's like over there.
It's rough. It's rough. I mean, you can definitely tell. I mean, that's where the neighborhood.
It's not that damn bad.
I mean,
You don't think it's rough over
I
there?
grew up playing basketball over there.
Well, you got lucky because it is. Is it rough over there?
from Murfreesboro standard.
Well, that's all we can compare. What are we going to compare it to? Smyrna?
Chicago.
What are we going to compare it to? I mean, is there a rougher area of That's our rougher area, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Over there on January, February, that's where I also grew up. Our grandmother, your great grandmother, used to work at that Duds and Suds right there. A lot of those kids probably now it's like a damn tire shop or something over there, or I don't know what it is, but
Still Suds and Duds.
I do remember.
BJ Henley, thank you for getting. He knows what I'm talking about. A lot of poverty in the area. So what is it that somebody that's in that area that's living in that environment? What is something that could be? What is a lesson they could hear? Because it does happen. People do get around the right person. Exposure can change everything.
Well, what do you feel like you could say that would keep them out of some of the stuff that's in that area?
Well, I don't know if I can say anything that's going to keep them from doing anything, but the thing I want to tell them is, man, every choice matters. Every choice matters, because going back to, I didn't do up to no good stuff. I mean, I was scared to death. I didn't even drink until I was like in college. I was scared to death. My mama caught me drinking. Damn. Me and my best friend in high school quit talking because he was drinking.
You were that guy.
I was that guy, man. I was. My stepdad was the football coach there. BJ, I came from that area. It is possible to make it out of poverty, take advantage of opportunities. Yeah. So I would say the most important thing that they could do is understand everything they do is a choice that has an outcome. And it could benefit in a good result or it could be a bad consequence, that's what I would say. Learn to live ahead of the decision. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because I was with kids in our neighborhood, they'd want to go out and slash tires. They want to go do. I'm serious. They go do it. I'd go home. Shit, I ain't doing that. My mama find out. I was scared to death to do those kind of things. I never thought it was cool to do that stuff, primarily because I was scared of my mama finding out. So, but some of these people over there, they may not have that influence in their house. I mean, I would go. I took a lot of those guys home in high school. Pick them up, take them home. You need to get their attention first, do something crazy, then give them the advice. I got about 5 or 6 minutes, Tommy. Is that what he said? So, look, if you see this, give me an idea. What is something that I could say? What is an experiment that we could do that somebody sees this and it helps them stay or get on the right path? Shut us down, Von Grafton. I need some AC.